what's going on? Talking about racism, interracial dating. Let me ask you something. Um, you know all the white men that you see with black women? Now, most of them will tell you that they're not racist because they're with the black woman. I can prove that they are. Now, I'm willing to bet you that every white man that's with a black woman, he knows something about slavery. And I'm willing to bet you that one of the things that he knows about slavery is that the white man raped the black woman and she was forced to have his children, right? He raped her, right? And the white man knows that. But today, the black woman is blinded with convenience and a lifestyle in order to fit in, to be accepted, to be seen, see, to be held in high regard, to be appreciated, to be respected. See, that's what she's looking for. But it's all at the cost of her having mulatto children, something that stemmed from slavery. Now ask yourself, why, if the white man know about that, if he know that interracial and mixed children actually hurts the black woman, why is he participating in doing that? Because he's a part of it. Listen, it's a sophisticated system that white people have. Just like you see white men with jobs as police officers, and you see this branch, that branch, they have a creed, a code about keeping the black population in decline. In decline. So they do it with different methods. They do it with mass incarceration, homosexuality, black on black crime, mental illness, and guess what else? Abortion and interracial dating. See? See? And think about this. If the white man tell you that he wasn't racist, ask him, do he know something about slavery? He'll tell you, yeah, but there's nothing he can do about it. Ask him, do he know anything about the white man raping the black woman? I've heard about it. So why are you practicing the same practice? You got some of the same traits in your practice. He may not say, I ain't raped it, no, but you're having mixed kids by it. That stems from slavery. If he really cared about it, he'll leave her alone, man. Because the reality is, they don't care about you, man. They're doing it for convenience. They're doing it for convenience and a slow destruction with black people. Right? Now ask yourself, how many black people know about this? Right? Most of them don't know. Most of them don't care, man. Because most black women are looking for some type of, like I said, convenience. Some type of comfort zone. See? And once white people get black people isolated, they can do almost anything to you because they isolated you. See? See? And that's what they want to do. They want to isolate black people and make it an isolated incident. Interracial dating is an isolated incident. Black women go online, they go to college, they go to church, and they meet these white men. And they befriend them. And it's all about what can you bring to the table? At what price? To have a mixed kid? Look at the black man. It's a system that white men set up, man. They set up, but how did they set it up? Through the help of the Most High. See? Because black people are the direct descendants of the black Messiah. They are. You know, but that's kind of hard to believe. Listen, you can tell white people are racist. White people, you speak to white people and they don't speak to you, most of them are racist. When you speak to white people and they don't speak to you, they're racist. They can even speak to you and still be racist. See? They can still speak to you and still be racist, though. So what? Listen, If I hate you in my mind, I can make my mouth say something different. If I hate you in my mind, I can make my mouth say something different about you. That's not your personal business. That's my business, right? So just because you speak to a person, that don't mean you're not racist. And the reason why white people are racist and on guard because they think that they're going to get paid back for what they did to black people. See? And they want to continue to have 3 steps, 4 steps ahead of you because they want to be able to see it coming so they can ward it off. See? They don't want to be done like that. But let me tell you something. If you go outside and start a garden and you planted some cucumbers, tomatoes, and onions, and the seed's been in the ground for a month, then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you said, I don't want tomatoes, cucumbers, and onions. I want apples, oranges, and bananas. You say that. You don't plant the seed. You just say that. But guess what's going to happen when harvest time comes? You're going to get tomatoes, cucumbers, and onions because that's what you planted. My point is this. White people have planted a seed of evilness and racism and hatred toward black people. Even though the Most High allowed them to do that, he's still going to pay them back. See? White people are not going to get away with all the murders. They're not. See? So, but what it is, the white people that did it is dead. But their children are still around, right? And a lot of white people living good in this country. You know, they benefited out of slavery. But I guarantee you, it's going to come back to harm. See? Look at all the shootings. Look at all the injustice, falsely accusing, falsely convicting people, black people. They constantly fucking with black people, man. See? And they try to, like I said, keep us isolated. And in our isolation, they try to make sure that the black person that they got isolated is non-threatening, especially a man. And the more black men they get to take white women, the more non-threatening they can be. That means they're not a threat. The more black women that take white men, that means they're not a threat. That means they're not with the black people that's thinking about rebellion, thinking about payback. They want to be able to keep an eye on black people. Want to know what you're up to. But in reality, that's what they planted, the seed, man, and it will come back to get them. That's the truth, man. That's anybody. Now, I can see if America never did anything to black people. They just let us come over here. We came over here on our own will, right? And then we start causing trouble. Then they'll be right because we came to their house and they let us in and we start being disruptive. So they would have to do what they have to do to stop a disruptive act. But we didn't come over here disruptive. We were caught, we were brought, we were chained, and we were shipped over here. And we were abused and used and murdered. Women were raped. White men raped black women for 200 years, probably more than that, forcing them to have these babies, right? And that's cool, and they deserve that. Not only that, in some of the cases where black women were raped by white men, the white men used to kill them. He used to pass them off to another white man. One white man may have one kid and may pass it off to another white man. See how they did, people? And that's nice. That's being nice. But now, we here in 2017, you got black people playing football. You got black people playing baseball, basketball. You got black people in the military, black people on Wall Street, right? Black people in science, right? So everything's cool for the black people that has those things. You know what I mean? Everything's cool for the black people that has those things because white people have given black people something, um, something to look forward to, something to feel good about yourself about, and that's a job, a label. And the more fancier the label is, the more you feel good about yourself. Right? So they know how to isolate black people and give black people certain things and take those black people out of the equation, out of the fight. So you see another group of black people ain't got nothing at all. And those are black people that you have to worry about. So it's got to be strife caused among them. You know, let's lock some of them up. Some of them will start to fight over drugs, women, mental illness, and they'll self-destruct. But I don't really think that's going to happen, you know. Because God, He gets the last say-so when you can destroy something that He created. Because after all, it's Him that allows you to destroy something that He created. So He gets the last say-so on who gets extinct. Right? Right? But it's the truth. White people, they want to destroy black people little by little. And what they do, they get other black people and let those black people lead by example. They make some black people. Like they get a group of black people that's been to college, that they gave a job to, that they educated. Now listen, white people educated. White people gave them a job. White people gave them a lifestyle, access to the suburbs or to the downtown area, to a nice car. And they feel good about themselves. So when it's actually white people giving them the stuff because they went and they applied themselves, but white people rewarded them for their applying, right? So they make them as an example. They put them out in front of the black community and say, hey, don't blame the white man because I did it. You can do it. But that's not the case. All black people can't do it because white people has to have room for white people. It's 10 to 1, 8 to 1, right? So they making room for white people to take those jobs. They can't give all these black people jobs because if we gave all those black people jobs, black people start having babies. They start having homes. They'll start living, living good, having babies, right? White people don't want that, man. You can build an army from the black woman's womb. And they don't want that, man. They want to destroy us little by little. And it's a sophisticated, complicated, long process. Lock some up here. Mental illness here. Homosexuality here. Right? Interracial mixing here. Black on black crime there. That's how you can get them to do it. It's little by little. You have to dismantle. They want to dismantle. And they have to stay 3-4 steps ahead of black people because they know black people want to pay them back. I don't care what type of material stuff, access you give black people still won't pay back because they remember. Now, white people could have destroyed the history of slavery, but it was the Most High allowing them not to. See? White people wish that they could destroy the history of slavery and not even let black people know they were slaves. But they couldn't. There's too much evidence around. It's a big, huge, it's one of the hugest crime scenes that the world has ever seen. I'm talking about the American slave trade, that crime scene. Expanded from Africa, I say Africa too. Now, I'm going to say this. I would say from the Caribbean, Jamaica, Haiti, Africa, that history, that slavery with white people, man, that's brutal. And white people call themselves being nice to black people because you give us a job and you let us drive a Mercedes and you let us play basketball and you let us eat at a 5-star restaurant and sleep in a hotel or work in a hotel or work at the White House or live in the White House. And that's supposed to make up for everything you've done to us. Because you created Tiger Woods, you created James Brown, you create a Dionne Warwick, a Nat Nicole, a Diana Ross. See, they want to occupy black people. So don't worry about your past. Look how great you are now. Because you created Lil Wayne. White people created Lil Wayne, man. See? They created Steve Harvey. They created Stephen A. Smith. They created LeVar Bell, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. They created all those people, man. It's a distraction, man, because they want you to keep your mind off payback and reparations and say, hey, you know, you don't need to be thinking about reparations or payback. That's in the past. Those white people are in the past. Let me ask you this. The finest. How is it possible that white people can identify African Americans and tie them to slavery, but we seem to can't tie them to being a descendant of the slave owners? See, white people can tie you to that. They call you African American, descendants of slaves. Now, how do they know that? Because it's information that's been left behind. It's documents. And it's people, they're reading those documents and acting upon those documents. Right? And this is not one person. This is not two people. This is not 2,000. This is not 200,000. This is millions of white people. Now, where are those white people at? They're all over, man. You walk past some of them every day. But it's a well-oiled machine. See? And the thing is, play like you don't know. You don't understand what they're talking about. I don't understand what you're talking about. Right? See? White people can tie black people to slavery, but we seem to can't tie them to being a descendant of slave holders. Now, why do they know that about you? Oh man, we look at the movie because they have the information. Now, if they didn't want you to know, why would they even talk about it? Now, why would they even remind you? Why would you even remind somebody about a dirty past, how they were treated? Because you don't care, man. White people don't care. They don't. If they cared, they would say, well, we ain't going to tell you about this. We're just going to, educate yourself and go and get a job and, everything's over with, man. That was the past. We don't do that. But they still discriminating. They still being racist toward black people. They still practicing mulatto babies, something that rape brought about with interracial marriage and dating. Lovey versus Virginia, 1967. See, they're still playing their games, man. See? Look how they did the brothers and sisters in Flint, Michigan. Look, all the water was bad. You don't think the white people knew? Come on, man. Now, tell me that ain't dirty. And they always try to come back and say, we're nice. We put up a street sign. Come on, man. Let me tell you something. I don't know. And I don't believe that it's very, very good, powerful white people in this country. Very, very good, powerful white people do not exist in America. If they did, tell them to stop the LGBTQ community. They're not. Right? Because they don't exist. The porn industry. Tell them to stop that. They're not, because they don't exist. The mafia. The mafia still exists. They're still around. They have reinvented themselves. They have repackaged themselves and became, they're in another package, but they're the same cookie. See? With a little bit more sugar. So they still around. Right? The Ku Klux Klan is still around. Skinhead is still around. Why? because they are part of white people's arsenal. The bikers, they're all a part of it. Right? They're doing their own thing. I'm gonna tell you somebody else who in on it. The Mexicans. Mexicans are in on it too, man. White people need extra help to take black people down. Because if white people were trying to do it themselves, then they might start a race war. So they want to make it seem as though we don't have anything to do with it. That's those people. Y'all fighting for jobs. See? It's all a part of dismantling black people, isolating incidents. And black people have to be aware of that. Being around all white people. If you ain't doing no business over there, what are you doing over there? But see, somehow we get trapped into going to bars, drinking around white people. Next thing you know, some white man up in a black lady's face. See? Isolated. Black woman, she wants to move from around the hood. She lives in the suburbs now, around all white people. Now she's sending her black kids to an all-white school. What you think gonna happen to your son and daughter? They seeing white little kids growing up. They're gonna end up dating them and bringing you back some mulatto kids because the black woman, she's trying to run. See? Now look at the school system. Look at the school system. Now, if white people really cared about us, the school systems wouldn't be like that in our community. They would let us educate our own. See? But they bring in white teachers in to educate us, and then they miseducating us. Now tell me you're not trying to hurt me. You're up to your old tricks again, sir. You're up to your old tricks again. You're giving people temp jobs instead of full-time jobs. You're up to your old tricks again. You're up to your old tricks again. Why don't you just give black people a certain amount of money and some land and let them go and do what they want to do? You know, for the black people that qualify for the money, they get the money. If you don't qualify for the money, you won't get it. And you can exclude a lot of black people. You know, the ones that's in jail, the ones that's in interracial marriages, you know, the ones that didn't blend it, they don't get none of the money. You can exclude a lot of people that way. But it'll eventually happen. It's just time, you know. But if white people really was not racist like they say they aren't, you know, because they say we're not racist. We try to do this. Yeah, because they'll throw a job or build a building or a school, or that don't mean you can still be racist, man. You can still be racist to the majority and treat a few people different to back up your claim that you're not racist. See? He can treat a few people good and say, I'm not racist, see what I did for them? But he got another hand. It's like a man, but he's like an octopus. He's like an octopus. He's got all these hands. He's got a hand over here. He's got a friendly hand. And he's got a bad hand. He's got a few bad hands. Corrupt hand. Lying hand. Deceitful hand. You feel me? So they cause that, they make that illusion as though they're not racist because they can create a few jobs for black people. They can give a few labels out that's important. Make a few important black people. And the black people that been made important, they're going to say they're not racist, they gave me a job because that's the example they're trying to set. But after they give you a job, they ain't going to do it for nobody else. See? They ain't going to do that because they got to give white people jobs too. See? And that's where black people fucking up because, and that's what white people fucking up too. They're trying to say that it's jobs out there. Right? But it's like an Easter egg hunt. If it is jobs out there, some of them people don't qualify for it. Some of them people can't get to because they don't have cars. And the bus don't take them out there. See? So what white people did, instead of giving us reparations, because they promised us that. Now listen, you can tell they dirty. They promised black people something, then turn around and not give it to them. Now that should raise alarms right there that they full of shit, man. They full of shit. Now, I don't give a fuck how many jobs, how many Smokey Robinsons, Stevie Wonders, Marvin Gaye, Michael Jackson. I don't give a fuck how many of them people they make. That's not reparation. They're trying to pay you back by entertaining you, giving you somebody to praise and worship. They're trying to set little examples thinking that we'll make him and let them people be all in the days and they'll forget about it. Drugs, alcohol, prostitution. Everybody get up and take care of their own little individual lifestyle. So you're not concerned about your people. You're concerned about your circle, your family. People stop caring about their community and start caring about their household. So what about caring about the community? And when you care about a community, you care about the households in the community, man. But people have been dwindled down to care about their individualism. Their individualism. See? Isolated incidents, man. Once you get people to start doing that, being concerned about individualism, they stop being concerned about the whole. But if you go in the white community, I mean the black community is like this too, but if you go in the suburbs or all white suburbs and you walking down the street, 9 times out of 10 somebody might call the police. You might get away. It depends on how you look, how you dress. You know, if they can't see you looking around like you're looking to break in somebody's house, they'll call the police on you. Because white people look out for each other, and that's how black people are supposed to. Let me tell you this. White people, they are the definition of success. And people want to mimic and they want to taste the success that white people show. Right? The success, the lifestyle. You know? That's what everybody is basically looking for. They're looking for the success. They're longing for the success that white people have. They want access to that. You know, you see white people and, you know, you see the communities. I'm not talking about the bad ones. I'm talking about the nice ones. They got nice restaurants, suburbs. People long for that, man, because white people make it desirable. Because white people built a civilized society and they make you long for it. And in order to get there, you have to follow rules. White people set the pace in the suburbs. So everybody else that come in the suburbs, they're either going to be themselves or they're going to be white people. Let me say that again. For black people that come to the suburbs, 2 things will happen. You're going to either be yourself or you're going to be trying to mimic white people. Being yourself is being who you are no matter where you go. You know, keeping your attitude in check, being respectful, things like that. But white people, they have a different creed on how they do things. They try to do things not half almost perfect. I say half almost perfect, not half perfect. Half almost perfect because they're not perfect. So it's a certain character they have about themselves, and people want to mimic that because they're captivated by it, you know. And that's how white people build their society up, man. They make people long for how they're living, and black people can be the same way. Black people can act the same way, civilized. There's nothing wrong with civility. There's nothing wrong with being civilized, right? So, if you want to be civilized, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But white people want you to be civilized with no strings attached. We just want you to be civilized. Forget about what we did to you. Forget about us owing you something. Get a job. You know, do something for yourself. So it's all about self. It's not about community. They want black people to think on a level of self, but they think on a level as family, community. See? So they always got a group of people doing it together. Where we do self. You see the black woman live over here, live over there. She got this car, she got that car. Doing for herself. And they give you just enough where you can't help anyone but your immediate small circle. They give you just enough. See? Because white people know if they paid us reparations, we'll have our own. See? We'll have more kids. Right? They know that. Right? The finest. So they want to play games and try to dismantle us little by little. See, when you go to school, you get white people's education. Basically, you have to take their word for everything they give you. Everything they give you, you have to take it at face value because they made the books up. Now, they did a lot of studying. They do a lot of math. They put it in books. You learn it. Once you consume it, you have to regurgitate it back out in a job, in a format to keep you a job. The education you get from white people, you have to process it and regurgitate it out in order to bring a job. You have to let it go to work for you. So they teach you how to go and get a job, and then you have to go find a job. See how they set people up? And they make white people slaves too, but they treat their part of the well-oiled machine to keep their numbers with more troops working. So the more white men they put in the work, putting a dollar in his pocket, that's the more white men that go out and have a family. See? A white family, some of them break off and grab the black woman and continue the grafting process with her. See? The less black men that don't have a dollar in his pocket, don't nobody want them. Nobody want a man with a dollar in his pocket without a dollar in his pocket. Okay. Think about this. Why are white men hiring more black women than black men? Why are they hiring more Hispanics than black men? Why are they educating more black women than they're educating black men? Why are they doing these things? Because they don't want the black man. They want to keep him like this. Because if he was at an equal level, like I said, he can produce families, man. He can produce families. And they don't want him doing that. They let the black woman lead the black community. And she's working off emotions. You know, and now she get to wear the pants and the skirt. And she get to dictate to who have sex with her. And if she see a man that ain't up to par, 9 times out of 10, no. So she's going to be single. She's going to have to meet some man that's probably lying about his marriage, or some man that's lying about his work status. Or if he got a job, he got another girl. You know, because it's more women to one man. And ain't enough men to go around. That's what they say. I believe it. Because white men are doing that. And then you know how some people say, man, don't blame the white man. Don't blame the white man. Who do you blame? Oh, you blame yourself. How do you blame yourself? Oh, for not applying yourself. For what? To white people's education system? That they ain't letting people go. They ain't letting people go to school. They ain't giving people the education material. Some people, you see some people going to school. Yes. But the majority of black people that want to go to school to get the grants, they can't go because white people tell them they can't go. They fucking with you, man. See, but like I said, they use other Negroes as examples to get out there and go to bat for them, the white man. And they'll send the black person out there and say, hey, go out there and tell these black people that, don't quit blaming the white man. Look at you yourself as an example. Talk about yourself. And that's what they do. They create those people, man. They created a Keith Sweat. They created Fantasia, R. Kelly, Nick Cannon, Kodak Black, Jay-Z, Beyonce. White people created those people so they can be examples. And with their money, they say, well, stop blaming the white man. Because white men want you to stop complaining. Because they want you to get your mind off reparations and off revolution. See? That's the truth. And those black people, they'll stand up and say, don't blame the white man. No. And those black people couldn't even tell you, they couldn't tell you that they educated themselves, that they went to a black college or they went to their own college. No, they got the white man's college, the white man's education. Even the black universities, even the all black universities, they had the white man's education because his books was in their schools. See? And they use them as examples as chocolate Oreos. Chocolate Oreos, they say, well, all black college, you think black people really doing something. But those black people getting white man's education to go on and get white man's jobs. See? In order to ride through life and make you envy them. Because you got something nice and you standing on the bus stop and you riding the train. It's a sophisticated game, man. It's very, 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 very sophisticated. See? It's the truth. You think I'm lying? Name me one black person in this country that white people didn't create. They had something to do with him. Louis Farrakhan, white people made him. Oprah Winfrey, white people made her. Ben Carson, white people made him. Clarence Thomas, white people made him. Name one white person. Benjamin Banneker, white people made him. Frederick Douglass, white people made him. James Baldwin, because black people applied themselves, but white people educated them. And they took white people's education and they came back to the black community and gave you some food for thought, but most of their mind was on self-improving their life and their status. Look at Martin Luther King. What did he do for black people? Okay, you say, well, he did this and this and that. How did it benefit black people? I'm talking about financially. It didn't, man. It just opened a few more doors for a few more Negroes to get jobs, to be in the military, to do this and do that. But white people been incorporating black people in their military from George Washington's days, right? So I'm talking about here, right? So black people always been a part of white people's military. So they've been giving them jobs. They had jobs back in slavery. So they want to keep you at a servitude level. Even though they promise you reparations. Now, why would they promise you that? Why would they do that? And who did that? And why didn't they uphold that? Because they knew it was too much money. They knew it was going to be too much money. They didn't know how to give it out. See? So now they still creating people. They got to create some more people. They create internet people. YouTube. But what are those people doing? They're not doing anything. I mean, they're giving you some information, but black people, they want jobs. They want to be able to have a home, an apartment, a car. They want to be able to do those things, and that's what it's about. See? Look at all the black people that's got money. They got that money. What are they doing with the money? They ain't doing nothing with the money, man. They taking the money, they self-fulfill it because it's their money. Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Denzel Washington, Jay-Z, Puff Daddy, Dr. Dre, Bob Johnson, Monique, Obama, all that money they got, Louis Farrakhan, they don't want to do nothing with that money, man. They not. Because white people got black people isolated. As long as they can keep you isolated and occupied, they keep your mind off joining the struggle. Isolated and occupied, keep your mind off the struggle. As long as you eating and a person got their house, they're like, man, I don't care about no reparations because they got their own stuff. White people done gave them something. So they said, I don't need nothing. I got my own. I don't need reparations. See, and a lot of black people, they really disrespect their community when they say don't blame the white man. It's the truth, man. You can blame them. That's right, you can. I said it. See, I'm not going to be a coward. You can say whatever you want about me because I can argue with any person and prove that they're lying. It is his fault. He set it up. He isolates black people. He makes examples, right? Give black people jobs on Wall Street. Give black people jobs in his space program. And they feel important. And they are the examples that you can do this too. At what cost? How long will it take me to do that? How many black people you think coming out of college that ain't committed a crime, that ain't did nothing to nobody, that went and followed the rules of college and society, the process, and they can't find a job? Black people, a lot of them. Or they have to take a step back and go work at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or Cook Foods, Walgreens. You got a degree. You go get a degree and it ain't no good? Just tell you something, some bullshit, man. Because most of the jobs that white people are giving out, they done gave a lot of them to Mexicans. And it's nothing wrong with that, but the jobs that black people had supposed to be getting, they gave them to Mexicans. But that's why I say we're supposed to get out of trying to get a job and trying to get our reparations because it belongs to us. And how you distinguish who don't get it is the black people that's in interracial dating and black people that's got life without parole. That's got life in jail, they don't get it. A lot of people that's drug addicts, people that's in interracial dating, people that's locked up for a long time, homosexuals, you can take them out of the equation. See? You can take them out of the equation. You can add all those numbers up and take them out of the equation. People that's mixing, like I said, mixing, yeah, take them out of the equation so they can't claim those checks. That's more checks you can take off. That's less money that you're giving out. See? But some black people, they don't understand racism, man. Because we know all white people don't claim to be racist. But are they racist? Of course they are, man. And it's not a bad thing. It's their part of a collective group. And I'm willing to bet you every white person that live here in America, I'm talking about people that can talk, adults, I'm willing to bet you they know something about racism and slavery, should I say. They know something about slavery. They know what racism is too. But I'm willing to bet you they know something about slavery. And I'm willing to bet you they can tie some black person that they know or they work with to slavery. Now, how can they do that? And how do they know about that? See? Because it's a part of their DNA. And these white people walking around, they are the descendants of the people that came off the boats. Well, not all of them, because some of them are, they get a fresh stock of Europeans from Europe. You know, they bring people in through the boats, not Ellis Island, but those Ellis Island too. But I'm talking about the first white people that came over here on the Mayflower, those boats. So you had those white people, then you had the white people that came through Ellis Island, then you had the white people that's coming over here now. So they all mixed together and they're all on the same team. They just have different jobs to do. Because it's a machine and they got to keep their population going, you know, at the same time you feed you. Whereas white people are supposed to give us a lump of money and let us take that money and do what we want to do with it. The reason why they don't want to give black people reparation because the check is too big. The check is too big, man. You're talking about trillions of dollars, probably 7. Motherfuckers say, oh, you fucking mad. That's the truth. It's about $7 trillion. I would put a price tag, and that's probably small. But it's okay. Right? 7 trillion. But like I say, the reason why they don't want to do it because the payout is too big. They don't know how much it is. They know they want to give it to us, but they trying to see how can they distribute it and how can they get the money back. You know, because you know it's gonna be some ignorant black people just, you know, just throw their money away, burning on drugs, alcohol, giving the money away, stupid stuff. See? But they want to try to exclude a lot of those people that's claiming to those checks because they want to give it to you. But they want a lot of people to die off. They want a lot of people to blend in. So when they start giving out the checks and they do DNA, if you don't come back with the traits of slavery, you're not going to be having claim to those checks because you done fucked your DNA up. You done went out like all these black dudes that you see just take it white women, take it. That's going to be their reparations. Because when they come back and try to test them in the future, and they say, man, they test their children, say, nah, man, well, your father was only this. Fuck them up, man. It's very, very sophisticated. It's the truth. White people know that they owe us, but they're trying to say, no, we rather for you to have a job. You know, we rather for you to still be a slave. You just gonna get paid this time. You gonna have a title. You have a title. We're gonna give you a title. We're gonna make you a colonel, make you a lieutenant, make you an FBI agent, U.S. Marshal. You work for the Treasury Department. You work for the governor. You work for the mayor. You work for Senator so-and-so. You're a state employee. Pentagon. Black people get those positions, they feel good, man. I work for the Pentagon. I work for Wall Street. Man, that's I work for Hollywood. You know, give them some big titles, man. People feel good, man. They feel good. Their self-esteem go up, so they don't want to hear no other shit, man. They don't want to hear about the white man. White man gave him a job. So you think they're going to talk about him? No. They're going to be like, you apply yourself. Because white people set it up for those black people to succeed. They created it. It's like they created this laptop and this cell phone, this water, and this cigarette, and this t-shirt, and these headphones, and these glasses. See? They created it. See? So they got black people wanting a label, and those labels feel good, man. Fox News, People work for Fox News. They got a certain type of swag compared to the people that work for Target. Now the Target executives are Target executives because that's a Fortune 500 company. So is Fox News. But the executives got a different swagger than Fox News because they're about news. Target is about selling stuff, products, you know. They totally two different things. A lot of Fox News get more attention than Target. Target get a lot of attention, but not more than Fox News. My point is the labels. Certain labels stick out more. You know what I'm saying? Mercedes-Benz, Rolls-Royce, Hilton Hotel. You know what I'm saying? Neiman Marcus, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Fendi. They stick out. And people like labels. And the white people, they have a cabinet full of labels they can pass out with a wage attached to it. Stop complaining. Stop being lazy, man. Stop blaming white people. It's just a distraction, man. It's a sophisticated tactic to stop you from sending a message out, voicing your opinion. So you got a lot of black people. If I was sitting around a bunch of black people and talking to them about this, they'll look at me like I'm crazy. Because especially if I sat around black people that's got good jobs for white people, they'll look at me like I'm crazy. They will. Because they have already established themselves. They already have their label. And since white people are allowing them to continue to work their job and to continue to work that label in an isolated incident, man, they benefiting off of it. So you think they're going to talk about their job that they're doing? No. They're going to look at you and say, you go apply yourself, because white people want you to get into applying yourself to a job. They don't want you talking about revolution and reparations. No, they don't want you to do that. They want you to go get a job. So that's how they separate black people. They got black people just going at each other's throats, you know, for a job, a description. You know what I mean? They got black people going at each other's throats. Because the black people are letting the other black people know, go get a job, man. That stuff is played out. So they become somewhat of a beacon for white people, a billboard, an example. What I was telling you, an example. Like, I'm an example. I can do it, you can do it, but that's not the truth. That's not the truth. Why do you think you got black people always say, I'm the first person here, I'm the first person there? Because they be the first person, because ain't nobody else got the job. Or it's 2, 3 blacks on the job, or 4, 5, or 6, or 10. So white people know how to set it up, man. It's really, 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 really sophisticated. And I know you don't believe that, but it's true. The truth hurt, man. Some people don't like to hear the truth. Some people just want to numb themselves. They want to numb themselves in material things and a lifestyle and convenience. They want to numb themselves in convenience. So you got a lot of black people living out in the suburbs, everything going cool. You think they care about the black people that's suffering? No, they be like, I don't care about those people. When they should. You ever seen a group of ants when it's time to eat? All the ants get something to eat. They eat at different times, but they get something to eat. They will make sure they eat because they're a group. God made everybody separate, different. Roses, a rose is different than a sunflower. A sunflower is different from a tulip. A tulip is different from a lily. They're different flowers, man. It's something different about them. They're all flowers, of course, but they're different flowers, man. And people get caught up and say, we're all human beings. We're all flowers. We're all fish. We're all birds. But they're different birds. They got a different diet, man. They come from a different climate. They do something different. Something different about them. Different fruits. Bananas, oranges, apples, pears. They're different, man. They got different tastes. They got different vitamins. See? But people don't care about that. You got to pay attention to the details and the isolated incident and the shit that white people try to throw over your head. They try to throw shit over your head, man. And make you forget all about your past. They want you to think about your future. The American dream. Become somebody great, man. They want you to be great. Right? People love to be great. They love to be seen. Especially men. Especially men. Let me take a break real quick. I'll be right back.